Welcome back, Hordlings, to more Spellcasting 101. Sorcerers, get all the girls. What the hell is the Game Hoarder doing back here at the beginning? Well, folks, like I stated from the beginning, I'm going to try to show as much of the game that I discover and find out through rummaging around on the internet of all the different things you could try doing. One thing I found you can try doing is just typing in weird things and doing weird things. So we're going to try to backtrack on certain sections and test some of these out. So we're back here in the bedchamber. Let's try to escape. Flat out escape. You try tunneling your way out, to no avail. A quick glance reveals no easy to tear bedsheet just waiting to be turned into an escape rope. So, I guess it's time for the saw and chisel that your accomplices baked into a pie, eh? What? No accomplices, no pie. So sorry. So, hardy har har. Let's sit on the fire. Oh boy, barbecued sorcerer. The end. You achieved a score of 0. In 2 moves, you have managed to kill Ernie. Alright, don't sit on the fire, folks. Smother fire. You try blowing on the fire. That doesn't work. You try spitting on the fire. That doesn't work. You try stepping on the fire. That doesn't work. But at least it burns off a few foot warts that you've been meaning to take care of. Let's go into the potty chamber here. Alright, and then Joey Rodwood comes in, who Drain thinks Joey should sound like Lug Lug.
You are not going to become a wimp of a wizard, you little creep. In fact, I've just this day bonded you to servitude to an old pal in the Dungeon Tending Guild. He'll be collecting your miserable little ass in about 3 hours. You'll spend the next 7 years becoming a man. Picking parasites out of dragon scales, carting away dragon dung, and rebuilding charred cages. It'll build character like Lug Lug. And muzzles. Lord knows you need them.
Alright, we got a spider. Let's eat it. Remember the old ditty? I know a young sorcerer who swallowed a spider. I don't know why he swallowed a spider. I guess he'll die. Well, the ditty was right. You died. I can try to collab these all as we get to these particular scenes, but the fact is that there isn't a whole lot out there on the internet with these older games, so you come by little pieces here and there. I have the actual hymn book, the physical hymn book itself. It's pretty interesting. I was even thinking about maybe doing an intro video to all of this and reading some excerpts from the manual, digital manual that I have, excuse me. So I thought that'd be interesting, just kind of get the atmosphere going. What else can we try doing here? Let's, we'll go north. Okay, we're not going to eat the spider this time. Waste is a terrible thing to waste. And of course we try climbing the branch and we get knocked down here. Cart on an old horse. It's a tool shed. I need to get the key, that's right. And all right. There's the rusty key. All right. What else can we do out here? Let's go ahead and do a quick save. And we are going to ask Miss Beancounter some different shit.
Yes, the tea has been awful lately. I heard that the tea farmers are having a lot of problem with locust.
I believe this is the same shit she was saying earlier.
Oh, hi, Mr. Rottenwood. My dress is caught in the gate. Maybe you could help me. You have such big muscles.
That's Lola, of course.
Hello there, Lola. Having a little problem? Be a shame for a pretty young thing like you to be stuck all day. And Lug Lug will have his way with her. Let's see what we can do.
A brief animal grunt.
There.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Rottenwood. You're so kind.
Miss Beancounter continues to rummage for her spectacles. Okay. Ask Miss Beancounter about Joey.
Zoe, Joey. Oh, Joey. Yes, Ernie, your daddy is such a nice man. He's so lucky.
Little does this bitch know. He's not my dad. He's my stupid stepdad. So I'm getting all these little 68 or 69 fun things to try out of the actual physical hymn book. It says ask Miss Beancounter about yourself. That doesn't seem to be working right, though. Let's see what else we can do. Gonna go ahead and create a test save here. Or save to our test file. Do you really want to attend Sorcerer U, or perhaps are you more interested in Gardener U? Then buy Shrub Trimming 101. Gardeners get all the girls. Nice. Alright, we won't take the tools. Let's get out of here and we're going to head to class. Pissing on the tree doesn't work. Let's try to shit myself. When I first started playing graphic adventure games, I think one of my first ones was Space Quest, Space Quest 3. When I I was playing that at a friend's house on his computer. This is before I even had my own computer. But when I did get my kick-ass 286 with 12 megahertz and a 40 megabyte hard drive, my awesome, I think BGA monitors just became a thing. Mice didn't exist yet, sound cards didn't exist yet, but Sierra Adventure Games existed with that good old beat bop internal speaker and the keyboard, and I would just sit for hours typing random immature shit throughout those games, getting the same retarded response. But it was just so much fun to get a response. Sometimes you'd stumble across something that made you giggle because the computer recognized what you were trying to do or trying to say. And back then, anything anywhere close to that kind of technology seemed like a big deal. Alright, so we're here at school. Let's try to cut in line. Let's see how well that goes over. Score has gone up by 10. Several older and burlier students evict you from the line.
Get in line and wait your turn like everyone else, you little bitch.
Alright. Should be playing a shoot 'em up game. Now I'm gonna try to push around and bully and kill everyone I can. That's just the nature of the game hoarder. Let's go ahead and restore to where we were. Back after we completed the simulation. Now the simulation is interesting because if you complete it like we did, the professors essentially take away the spells that you've learned during the simulation, which you get some cool spells. There's going to be a time during the game where we can come back and do the simulation and keep those spells. So we want to keep in mind how we got through the simulation, not that it was uber difficult. Alright, it's about time for class. We need to wait around till, I believe, 1 p.m. when our mythology class will begin. Time passes. It's 1 p.m. and class hasn't started, so... Stand up. Oh! The bell rings, signifying the start of early afternoon class. The lecture hall quickly fills with students. Good afternoon. Today we'll begin our study of the Pelorian creation epic. As the mythology involved is very complicated, I urge you to take notes. I'll go slowly so that you slower writers can keep up. Well, we certainly need to take notes then. Bust out your pencil and notebook paper, Ernie. Get your trapper keeper and your spiral-bound notebook. Before Peloria, before even the sun in the skies, there was simply the lightness and the darkness. Uncountable time passed. By and by, the lightness took form and became the goddess Minolia. The darkness grew into the great god Manhasset. Fuck me, haven't been recording. By and by, the lightness took form and became the goddess Minola. The darkness grew into the great god Manhasset. Guess we'll keep taking notes. Minola and Manhasset stared out across the great void and became restless because voids by their very nature are quite boring. Guess we just keep waiting. It's 20 minutes into class now. In her restlessness, Minola took a lock of her golden hair and from it created the goddess Ocarina, who was so beautiful that it drove Manhasset into a jealous rage. You take notes as time passes. He grabbed a strand of his own hair, but in his haste he picked up a rather coarse strand from his dark facial mole, and from this hair sprang the god Glockenspiel, whose features were as repulsive as Ocarina's were lovely. By and by, Ocarina mated with Glockenspiel, chiefly due to the utter lack of alternatives. From this union there came a child, Peloria, who embodied both tremendous beauty and great ugliness. Ark and Glock, as we irreverent modern agnostics sometimes call them, each desired to raise the babe. Thus were sown the seeds of a mighty battle. Minola moved to aid Ocarina, and together they created a host of goddesses to swell their forces. Givulva, who had the great capacity for love. Basilica, who held the gift of life in her fingertips. Adagio, who could weave wondrous scents from thin air, and many more. At the same time, Manhasset and Glockenspiel formed a legion of new gods, including Adenoid, who brimmed with hate for all he surveyed, a Barbican spewing death from every orifice, Diatonic, whose body could produce unspeakably vile odors, etc. Oh, excuse me. The fight over Peloria raged on between gods and goddesses. The heavens rocked with fire and thunder, and at times it seemed that the very universe itself would be split asunder. The stars of our nighttime sky are said to be the embers of the mighty war. Then by the hand of Glockenspiel there sprang a god so terrible that even the gods trembled in his presence. He was war personified, and his name strikes fear into the heart of even enlightened moderns. Baccarat! Baccarat took the disputed Peloria into his powerful tentacles of iron and blood, and in a fit of terrifying madness tore the babe limb from limb and rent out the organs and crushed them into little bits, and flung the little bits into the void, where they exploded into a roiling mass of fire and ice, of dust and smokage. From the cloud sprang our world, which, since its form from the body of the child, is also called Peloria. This also explains the nature of the world according to the ancients, since the child and indirectly our world came both from Ark and Glock. Peloria contains much that is beautiful, but at the same time, much that is hideous. When the gods and goddesses saw what Baccarat had done, they were outraged. And for the first time in their existence, they knew fear. They desired the destruction of the war god, but they knew not how. Instead, they sought to neutralize his terrible power by creating the goddess Bagatelle, who gave off peace like the sun gives off warmth. She touched the hand of Baccarat and held him to her, and after a short time it became clear that the battle between the gods and goddesses had ended. Following the example of Baccarat and Bagatelle, the gods and goddesses commingled and settled into a hidden corner of the new world, and dwelt there in uneasy truce. God damn, this class is long. This must have been one of these 2 a day or 2 a week classes where you got to sit in there 3 hours. God, man, I do not miss that in college. To amuse themselves, they created the plants and animals and the monsters which fill Peloria. They created people and gathered them together into towns and villages where they could keep an easy eye on them. Though still sequestered in their unknown land, the gods and goddesses are said to oft affect the affairs of their creations. Lightning and tornadoes are the results of their anger, rainbows a sign of their pleasure, and wind and tides connote their movements. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. Minola rules during the day, but Manhasset holds supreme at night. Although Basilica protects us from cradle to crypt, Barbican is always waiting to claim us as his. And of course, when a man and wife argue, we say that it's because Glockenspiel and Okrina are once again doing battle. I want you to read chapters 37 and 38 for next time, and don't forget, your first paper is due on Monday. Write paper. Do it now. A bell rings, signifying the finish of the early afternoon class. The lecture hall quickly empties, and you stop taking notes. Alright, 2-hour mythology class. I took lots of mythology in college because I was obviously something I was interested in, being the fucking nerd that I am. But I also had a huge background in mythology already from the multitude and plethora of mythology books that I started reading when I was in my mother's womb. Yeah, she used to swallow mythology books and I'd fucking read them right there in the womb. But anyways, I was going to get a minor in humanities and drilling out all these mythology and kind of classical literature classes were helping me out with that minor, and I think I just ended up taking my bachelor's in English. Well, obviously I got that. And then also I have a degree in information management systems at this point, but this was all way back in the day when the game hoarder was a little youngster and thought he was going to grow up to be the next Shakespeare. Turns out I would just become an infamous YouTuber and make no money doing it. Alright, so class is over. Let's get out of here. Okay, we can go northeast up here to the professor's office. Another thing I love about these early graphic text games was back then in the day, seeing these kind of little window graphics on the computer were pretty amazing, even though 90% of it is not animated. I don't know. I just always had a thing for these picture text games. Even after playing, games like King's Quest, Space Quest, where you're physically moving a character around, I always will have a certain attachment to this look. A couple other games I LP'd that you should definitely check out: Eric the Unready, and one of my all-time favorites, Callahan's Cross Time Saloon, based off Spider Robinson's novels. Check those out. Good stuff. I'm probably gonna replay Callahan's at some point, just because it's one of those games you want to play every few years. And I played it quite a long time ago. Could probably get a better recording out of that and try some new things. Anyways, here we are at Professor Ticking Clock's office, which exits to the south and southwest. Strange curios, and trophies adorn the crowded walls and overstuffed shelves. An old mahogany desk scarred by time fills half the office. You see Professor Ticking Clock here.
Honey, my boy, don't forget that don't forget that you're having dinner with me tomorrow night. We'll expect you up. Where the fuck do we go? We'll expect you up at the suite at around 7:30, and well, what were you saying?
Well, sounds good. Talk. Well, first of all, let's save. I'm gonna say this one is GHR. Lupe, what's up, big dog? Big cat. You come and hang out? Huh? Well, get your ass up here, you big orange floofy fucker. God, cat always gotta... Now you want to come get attention. Right in the middle of an LP. Little shithead. I don't even know where you've been. This cat is ridiculously spoiled. I'll have to show you guys some stuff, some artwork I had made for the girlfriend. That involves this giant orange pussy that we have. Alright, so, let's see. We saved. Let's talk to Professor Dumbledore. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Kill Professor. Push. Okay. Pee on fire. Piss on fire. Sit on fire. There you go. You've achieved a score of 38. I killed myself in front of Professor Ticking Clock. Save often, folks. Especially when you're testing stuff out. Let's look at paintings. The paintings are various poses of the professor's young wife, Hillary. He's obviously totally devoted to her, and based on what you can see, for a very good reason. Oh, that's my spell book. Okay. There are some scholarly journals and ancient tomes on the shelves. Bip, Professor. Maybe the professor will love me now. Oh, come on, man. I'm not typing all that out. Let's see. Examine the clock. Professor Ticking Clock has always reminded you of those drawings that appear toward the end of their depicting the ending year as an old and feeble man in danger of tripping over his own beard and shattering every fragile bone in his body. In fact, you've heard that the professor sneezed a few years ago and broke his collarbone and 3 ribs. I don't know, guy looks like he's in decent shape to me. I mean, he's banging what's-her-face up there on the painting, so... Can't be that fragile. Or maybe he's not banging it. The desk is antique and beautifully made. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can do here. Let's get our time back and head south. Simulation lab, we've already done this. And I don't want to do it again right now. Go back to Bat Guano Court. Tap a keg of brew. That's my kind of fraternity. Hi, Ernie, yells a senior you met during orientation week. Drop by tonight, 8 o'clock, big party. Should be a swell time. Okay, let me write that down. 8 o'clock, big party. Where's my pen at? Ernie Beaglebeaks takes notes. "8 p.m. party, yo. Be there or be square." Alright, well, let's see. Keep into my around 30-minute episodes. Let's see here. Let's save again. We'll probably restore and I'll end up finding some other things to do. Let's see. Drink keg. You're underage. Only seniors are permitted to drink. What? This college sucks. I guess we could wait for the party. Let's examine all this stuff. Nothing special. Oh, that would have been awesome. Examine keg. It's labeled XXX. That's probably not good. Through the window, you see the landscape grounds of the campus. The Bosco brand spellbook, all-purpose spellbook, and my level 1 spells, BIP, produces soft music. I can get it if I don't drink it. Uh-oh, late afternoon class. Are you guys ready for more class? This course will give you basic ethical framework you'll need for a lifetime of sorcery, but more than that, it will teach you some of the basic social skills you'll need to mesh into a world of non-sorcerers. We'll cover a lot of deadly serious topics, but we'll have some fun as well. Let's review the last topic from last Thursday. Who can tell us the 6 stages in the life cycle of a good restaurant? Yes, you, in the dark brown cloak. We will pick up here in the next episode. It's 4:20 p.m. and I'm stuck in class. That sucks.